All right, what up, guys? So I've been talking about my other bike and what I've got going on with that thing. So I'm gonna put a little video in right now of the frame and everything, but and you can see what's going on. So this frame has been hardtailed, stretched out, 8 inches in the front, new legs, raked out to 40 degrees for 8 over front end. Then I did all the molding, doing all the body work. This is what the back looks like, and the tail lights mount up to here. Yeah. So with that bike, I built the whole bike. It looked cool. I liked it, but the tank, I still have it up here. This was the tank I was running on it, and to me, when I had that tank on there, it just looked like it was a little bit of like a hunchback. And I didn't like it. Plus it was too curvy, and everything on that bike is a little like, it's got some curves to it, but most of it's like kind of sharp, peaky, and it just didn't flow right in my head. Didn't look correct. So I built this tank. It's a copy of a AEE wing tank, kind of, sort of. But when I built this, I used just whatever sheet metal I had laying around. And as you can tell, I didn't even finish welding it. It's still in 2 pieces. The bottom still comes off. This sheet metal's not thick enough. It bends really easy. You could just squeeze it with your fingers. It's too thin. So I went and got myself some 16 gauge, 18 gauge. I think it's 16. So it's a little thick, but at least I won't have any issues. It'll be easy to weld, all of that stuff. I'm gonna use this tank as the template, but I'm gonna bring it in maybe an inch or so on each side to make it a little more narrow this way. And this is gonna be, I guess, my template. So that's what my plan is today, is I'm gonna try to build a tank. So yeah, let me start getting some stuff sketched up. Take some tape. Go from where I marked at 11, where I marked over here. That's about 2.5, okay. Alright, here's the layout of the tank now. So it's 2 inches narrower here, but it's 1 inch longer here. Struggling to... I don't know if I like that. Let me think. Okay, so I got the top and the 2 sides cut out. Now I'm gonna get them tucked together and see how I want to go from there. Yeah. Okay, it's not hot. So I got it tucked together. I put my angle finder on the sides and I matched it to 75 degrees of an angle on the sides. And I'm probably gonna come back and put a few more tacks just to keep it in place. But I think I'm digging this how this is looking. I kind of want to go with just a complete flat bottom with no tunnel, so it just kind of sits over. Or maybe do like just a bend in the middle, so it's like kind of got an angle like this on the tunnel part, instead of actually rolling a tunnel out and letting it sit, so it kind of hovers above the frame. On this tank, it was only like maybe an inch of a tunnel, so it's not that big of a deal. I think that's what I'm going to do. I gotta figure that out next. Okay, so I got it all tacked up. I got this front piece made and it's all welded all the way around, just needs to be ground down. I got the bung to weld in, all cut out of that tank over there, and I got my hole saw. I'm gonna run it in about like right here, so I kind of want it at the highest point. So we're gonna drill this guy out, drop that in there, weld it all the way around, and just start welding this whole thing down. The distance, I'm not sure. Some of the tanks that I've seen, they just have a big, it's like a flat spot on the back. So I think I'm gonna get it all tacked up together, and I'm probably gonna run over to my dad's where the frame's at and try it on the frame, see where I need to cut and figure out lengths and front brackets and stuff like that. So we're just gonna keep on chugging along. Okay, so I got this tank pretty much welded all the way across the top, all in the fronts. I gotta weld across the bottoms, but I need to make the mounts. So I made this a while ago to just keep my tank mounts in the same place when I was building the 2 tanks over there and other tanks. So if I ever have a bike with the holes or the top tank mounts, that works. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set this tank on here, drill a hole through this section over here, run the bolt through there. Then I'm going to make the front mounting hardware, which is just a piece of metal that comes up and then a hole with a little piece of tube. So I'm going to get this mounted to this, and then from there I'll be able to make mounts for this tank off of the mounts off of this one. So that's my plan. That's what I'm going to do right now. So I'm going to start by putting this on here, marking a hole, drilling the bolt hole for the back, and then I'll start with the front mount. I'm thinking this is going to work. Who knows? But so what I did was I drilled the hole and I put a bolt, but for spacers I used 9/16 nuts, which makes it a perfect space between this side and that side. Measures out to the top tube of that frame perfectly. And then I ran a 1/2 inch bolt through there and secured it on each side. this side, on the front, I did the same thing that I did on the other bike, but I cut this piece and then measured the distance and added that little T part, and then the bolt slides in, so those mounts are going to be the same. Those mounts are going to be the same, and it's all square and everything, so I should be able to mount, make the mounts for the other tank off of this tank. And then I went ahead and I cut these out. I'm gonna drill. I measured it out about right there, and then I'll probably end up on the new tank being like something like that. I'm not sure if that's gonna work. Might be a little too long, but we're gonna see what. Because what I think I'm gonna have to do is shift this whole tank back because of the way that the front is made. It's gonna make it kind of interesting to figure out how to mount in a little T like that. So we're gonna start with the back, see what happens. These might have to get smaller, who knows, but we're gonna drill that hole first, and then there's two brackets here just stacked together, so the holes will be in the exact same place. Alright, so it's on the stand. Up here I have like a nut and a bolt through a little hole right here to raise it up just enough to so it's even all the way across the bottom. So that means it'll be raised up against the backbone. It'll have a little bit of air, open air, and then these are the tank mounts that I made. The hole's a little off, but I may actually have to trim this piece once I set it on the frame. We'll see. And then I'm thinking about actually shorten it like this 2 inches here or something. So I got the back mounts made. The front mounts are gonna be a little weird. I have two thoughts. I'm gonna make a strap that comes like down and meets it and then comes back and up underneath it, or I have some threaded bungs, and I was thinking about drilling holes, putting the threaded bungs, and then two risers, or like two metal bars that come up, and then you'll feed the bolt through there, and then so it mounts on the bottom and just has this like piece that comes up. But I'm not sure how I'm gonna do that, because I'd probably end up drilling right here, put one bolt through there, and then one on each side, and then have two pieces that come up. So this bracket would just be a whole separate piece that you put on, thread the bolt on, then slip the tank into, and then 3 bolts here, 1 bolt here, and then the 1 bolt here. But I haven't figured that out yet, but it's looking pretty cool. I'm digging the look of it all. I'm happy with it. We're gonna have to take it over and set it on there and stuff, but I gotta figure out the front mounting tabs first. So this is the mount I came up with. It goes down and then it crawls underneath and then back up, opposite of that one. It's looking alright. I'm probably going to make sure everything fits, and then I'm probably going to run a cap here or something like that to kind of close this section up. Not entirely sure, but it looks cool, and then it doesn't. So yeah, maybe I just do like an angle back right into there. Something like that with a cap. But for now, we'll keep welding on it, grind all the welds down, and then I gotta figure out where to put my petcock. And yeah, that's it for right now. Oh yeah, one more thing. I think I'm gonna shorten the back end up and cut it, and then weld this back in square. That's how I've seen them done, so that's probably how I'm gonna do it, so it's not as thin back here, and its overall length is a little shorter. But Yeah, I'm pretty happy with the way it's coming out. It's a lot thicker, so that's gonna be a lot nicer. I don't have to worry about blowing through what I'm welding or anything like that. Um, but not bad. Not bad, I guess.